Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of Lords of Sin. Here on Go Buff Yourself and Thousand Faces TTRPG, I am joined once again by 6 incredibly talented individuals, performers, storytellers, and friends. Let's go around and meet everybody. First, we have Cory playing Shin.
How you guys doing? And my name is Cory J. Phillips, and I'll be playing Shin.
Second, we have Danny playing Valkerie.
Hey, I'm Danielle Phillips, and I'm going to be playing Valkerie.
Number 3 in our roster, Mav playing Korrin.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite black guy on the internet here. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm here in spirit and I'm going to give it my all.
And we appreciate you for it. Matty will be playing Kalista.
Hello everyone, I'm Matty and I'm so excited for this game.
Kalista's creation, Jaeger, will be played by Aaron.
What's up? I'm Aaron, playing Jaeger. See what's up.
And last but not least, we have Mallow playing Lorwryn.
Good evening, everyone.
And I am Ethan. As always, I will be your dungeon master. There are content warnings for tonight's episode. Please look in the description. But tonight's episode may feature graphic depictions of violence, sexual themes, gaslighting, manipulation. Please check out the content warnings and the particular timestamps in the description so that you can find those. If you need to skip, it's totally fine. Totally get it. This is an 18-plus game, and definitely the darkest we have ever told here on Go Buff Yourself. So, I think that's it for the introductions. So let's go ahead and run that intro scene so that we can start episode 2 of Lords of Sin. Today, the Queen summons the Crown's Council. Today, Ivor holds its breath. Some of you may have been here in Highgale for some time. Others of you may have more recently arrived. Some of you even more recently. The city of Highgale is a sprawling city, a masterwork of architecture, and the capacity of sapience and sentience to push back against the forces of nature. The strong winds that gave High-Gale its name break against the colossally tall towers here in the capital of Windward. All of you have been summoned here for the Queen's Council, with the exception of a few. Kalista, who was already here in High-Gale, serving in one of the highest seats of the Weaveminders. Jaeger, only recently created for some new purpose. And Lorwryn, who comes to High-Gale with no summons, but of her own volition. The Crown's Council is set to start in a couple hours. Is there anything any of you would do before the council meeting? Yeah, Kalista.
So Kalista is seen often, having that be part of her job, to be the face of a community and a organization. But she's more on edge than she normally is. So she has spent the last 3 hours in front of a mirror meticulously putting on her face. Every detail perfect. Every braid in her hair perfect. Every ring in the locks tied perfectly. Until every aspect of her body and her face is perfection. Perfectly mirrored makeup, perfectly done everything. She's even done her runes in a way that they will sit matching. So one side matches the other side perfectly. And she's avoiding anything on her face for the day. And she's actually wearing something that's all the way up to her collar to hide most of them. She is impeccable.
Absolute precision in your dress, your makeup, how you are going to present yourself to the world as soon as you step out of your chambers is an orchestrated affair for you.
You look stressed. In your window sits Shin.
As she buttons up the last few buttons of her top, actually covering herself, she turns slowly, not shaken at all. Shin.
Long
It's been
time.
some time.
I know. You haven't aged a day. I have found all of the aging you should have done.
Are you gonna stand out there or come on in?
This is a nice breeze and a nice view. No, I
Can't
mean,
enjoy a vintage.
I would love a vintage.
I do want to say...
You seem...
and I want you to continue, but because you said it's a nice view, I just want to let you know, the tower that you're in, that Kalista's rooms are in, and that you have flown up to find her, is not the highest tower in High-Gale. That distinction goes to the Queen's Spire. But not being the tallest tower in High-Gale still gives the home of the Weaveminders the privilege of being taller than almost any other building outside of High-Gale. You are probably about 300 or 200 meters above the ground at this point. So about 60 stories just to find Kalista's chambers. Please continue.
I will say I had to try a couple of windows before I found yours. As several of your colleagues are upset.
They deserve that anyway. She will go to the window and unlatch it and push the window almost violently outwards, just in an attempt to knock Shin off guard.
And all he does is just kind of like a leaf in the wind, whips around it, swirls of it, and then lands gently on the windowsill. You seem stressed, darling.
Have you come to relieve that stress?
Oh, that is. He turns beet red, like, and then falls out of the window. Falls like, probably 20 feet, and then just puts his feet gently on the wall. He's beet red and like, sorry, that caught me off guard. I've been in the wilderness for quite some time. The last flirtation that ever happened to me was from a squirrel, and it was just because I had nuts. And he walks back up and then sits himself back in the windowsill. I would more prefer the vintage.
I can't say I'm not disappointed. She will go to the far side of her room, open up a lightly, almost powdered glass, don't know why I put a T on there, and open up the cabinet and pull out a very old bottle of red wine and 2 glasses, and portion a generous glass of wine and herself, just a smidge.
That sort of occasion. I assume you have felt it too.
Everything is feeling a little darker, in a way.
And it's getting darker. The 6 approach, most likely. The 7.
7. You were never good at counting.
Each dimension has its own problems and different varying numbers. Hard to say which one I'm in at any given time. You know the problem. You've dimension hopped before.
I was tempted to do it before this.
This one does feel more.
Final.
Possibly. I will say, from what I've experienced of the flow of the universe, we are hitting a crossroads where the future seems unclear, more than it ever has been. Cloudy swirls around beyond this, 3 hours from now.
You've seen it too, then.
I've been shown it, not like you. I do not have the power as you do. I've just been shown.
I don't know, you have your own powers. It feels... I don't want to say dark so much as an impending dread. I can feel it in my chest when I wake up. So...
With as tight as you have that dress, I'm surprised you can feel anything.
You can loosen it for me. Offer's still out there.
He falls out of the window again.
Shin, could you make me a charisma saving throw?
I hope that's this button.
Oh yeah, I need to pull up everyone's sheets.
Wait, is that the same? Yeah, that's so 16.
16?
Yeah. How do I have a +7 to charisma? How does that work? Is it just my level? Oh, I guess, yeah. 16.
With a 16, I will say, I'm not sure if this is a usual or unusual thing for you, Shin, but when Kalista says, you could loosen it for me, there is a strong tug of temptation. And you catch your eyes looking at her hungrily. And I think it's that realization that causes you to performatively fall once again, to both snap yourself out of that and to conceal anything that Kalista might have also seen.
He is now, like, using the dragon astral projection, seemingly standing on the wall outside. It seems you still have a power over me. And then you see his face, his countenance change. And he gets very serious. I think you felt it too. This
I
is
did.
far more than I expected.
Kalista will lean out the window and offer a hand to Shin.
And he'll look at you, half smile, and then just release and falls the rest of the 200 meters.
Shin falls away from your window. Kalista, could you make me a charisma saving throw? Yeah? I see you, Aaron.
With a +5 because Jaeger's in the corner of her room, just a statue, and no threat was made, and she is quite capable. So he remains, but she is still bolstered.
Love it.
Even with your +5, it's only a 9.
Damn.
I have a 0 on my charisma.
You watch Shin drop, fall, and leave. And disappointing. And as you turn and you look at yourself in the mirror once more, you turn your face and you look at your makeup. It's not perfect. And you grab a rag and you just wipe it all off and start entirely over.
And she goes beyond just the makeup. She changes out of her dress and she finds something a little bit more exposing. She feels almost as if she's getting old. And it's something that, as an elf, she has never felt. But as she's looking in her mirror, she swears she can see what once was, sorry for the word choices, what once was perky and perfect seemed to sag, seemed to gray. And she finds herself meticulously searching through her wardrobe, searching for the perfect lace, for the perfect outfit. And the only thing that is keeping her from crying is the fact she just redid her makeup.
Of the then 2.5 or so hours remaining, you spend the next hour redoing everything. This time, your makeup redone, your outfit revisited, restyled. You look at yourself. Oh, now that's more like it. And we see Kalista just for a second, and again, I don't know if this is out of character for you, but we see Kalista just revel in herself for a moment.
It is not a normal Kalista thing to do. She likes to display herself, but she has never been one to sell herself. And there's a slight difference in what she is doing in the first look compared to the look she has now.
It's probably time for you and Jaeger to get going. The Queen's Spire is a short walk from here, and you know that the council chambers that the Crown's Council will be held in, were you to climb the stairs, you're not, it would take you about close to an hour of straight stair climbing. Fortunately, the Queen's Spire, thanks to the Weaveminders, has several very functional elevators, and with Jaeger along with you, that's probably the only way you would get up there. But as you look at yourself, and you turn and you look at the statue-still Jaeger, it's time to go.
Jaeger, let's go. And she will lead him out the door towards one of the magical elevators to make her way out.
And as we leave, he follows in a protective stance the whole way. But as she turned initially, he looks towards the window that Shin fell out of and closes it securely and follows.
As we watch the two of you head towards the elevator in the Tower of the Weaveminders, we do hear a few snippets of conversation from other Weaveminders. No, he was outside of my window, I swear. He knocked on it, saw me, and then he just flew off. Is there anything anyone else would be doing before the meeting? I am certainly going to be looking for an answer from Lorwryn, but is there anything from anyone else? Korrin? Or, yeah, Korrin first, and then we'll see if Val.
Now, I'm pretty sure there's food somewhere for this so-called meeting that we got invited to, correct?
Oh, there's absolutely food to be found here in Highgale. Oh, yeah.
Korrin will go and find said food because it's a long trip and she's quite hungry. And a lot to taste the more locale food as well to see if it actually tastes good.
What type of food are you hunting for?
Lovely you use that word. Meats, delectables, and just savory meat. And vegetables.
You go looking for a shop. Again, or in order to find food, you are at the ground level of Highgale. There are piercing towers all around. Some of these towers, or the Queen's Spire, rivals and beats many of the peaks of the Belt of the World. It is... Have you ever been to Highgale, Korrin?
At one point in time, I did.
The tower is
Really
taller.
like that much.
The tower is taller than it was, but the top is still the same. Make me a intelligence check really quick. Or Arcana, specifically, if that one's higher.
A 5?
5. No idea how they accomplished that, but that tower is, when you were here, probably 10 years ago, what is now about a 900 meter tall tower, it's probably about 100 meters taller than it was the last time you were here, but the top looks exactly the same.
Huh. Well, and you know those rich folks, they always got money to do whatever they can with that. Anyway.
You find a shop here on the ground level. Highgale is a incredible city, but you also know that the best food is not usually found at the fancy places, so you go looking for holes in the wall, carts, things like that. Eventually you find a small family-run little shop that seems to be run by a family of dwarves. The thing that catches your attention as you walk in here and you're looking at their menu is that the prices here have been relatively recently scratched over and are drastically higher. What was previously on there for 3 silver is now 2 gold. You can see the previous prices still under the X and the newly written prices right next to them. And the gentleman working the counter, when you walk in, like a apron on, wipes his hands. Hello, anything I can get for you?
And Korrin, well, hi there. My name's Korrin. How are you?
Another beautiful day in Queen's country.
Oh, I bet it is. Well, hey, I'm sort of I'm visiting town, and I always love to find some of the best places to eat. That's my first stop whenever I come in. I don't like to eat at those fancy places. I look for like mom and pop places and places like yours because I know that's where the real. I'm a cook myself, so I know that's where the real food, the taste and flavor come from there.
Well, when you're right, you're right. You came to the right place if you're looking for good food. Well, if you're new here, I recommend the pork sandwich to anyone. That's one of the house specialties.
Oh.
3 gold. The menu says.
Wow, that's not a issue, but do you guys have like really special ingredients or something like that? Now, money's no issue. Don't get it wrong, but I see that you went up on your prices there.
Supply. There's been an issue with livestock recently. We don't have quite as many in the stores as we would normally at this time of year around Highgale, so prices are up, supply is low. But I still make sure I get top tier ingredients even when they're difficult to find, so I promise that gold is worth it.
And the queen doesn't provide for her people? You think?
Queen Melath always provides for her people, but she can't make livestock appear out of nowhere. The Queen has opened the larders best she can, but even so, providing fresh meat to a local sandwich shop isn't exactly her highest priority, I'm sure.
Oh, probably not. Might be that giant castle out front. Here you go. I'm going to give you 10 gold as such for your highest. No, I can count. That's not a problem. But it's because of your hospitality. I'm going to give you a tip. So there you go. I'm going to take one of those sandwiches, please.
Hold on one sec. Whew. You pass over 10 gold. Huge tip. And as you slide the 10 gold pieces over, there is a moment where the dwarf's eyes flash radiant gold. And then he kind of shakes his head. No, that's too much. You don't need to give a tip like that. Wait until at least you've tried it to see if it's worth it.
No, it's fine. I believe you, and I honestly think that when you give quality service, you should be paid for it, and slides it back.
As you slide it back the second time, he almost, it seems like unbeknownst to him at that point, reaches forward and like snaps the gold up into his hands, clutching it to his chest, and then sort of comes to himself. Oh, well, thank you. I'll go get your sandwich. Toasted?
Please. Thank you.
Tucks the gold away, gets your sandwich, wraps it up in like tissue paper, basically, and passes it over. You can see that you can feel that it's warm. The paper is already a little soaked through with some of the grease.
Korrin will rip it in half.
Probably not quite as good as you might have done, but pretty damn good sandwich. So?
Well, it is quite delicious.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Is there anything else I can get for you today?
Oh, well, I just want you to have a wonderful day and keep up the good work. And, you just keep working on those recipes and just do as much as you can with them, okay? This was delicious.
Will do. Absolutely. Oh, and how can I help you? While you've been having this conversation, a human has walked in and is looking up at the menu. 3 gold. Can't afford that. Sorry. Yeah. Turns and walks out.
Wait, excuse me. Are you hungry?
I am, yeah.
come on up. Pick something, anything you want. Go ahead.
Seems almost beside themselves and rushes up to the counter and looks up at the menu. Oh, I'll have one of those, please. And points up at one of the items. All right, coming right up. Grabs makes a huge sandwich for this individual. It's about 5 gold.
Hands over to 5 gold.
As you hand over the 5 gold, this individual has already started just is not waiting, is not leaving, is not sitting down. Just the second it is handed over is devouring this 10-inch long hoagie style sandwich and is just inhaling it. You're almost afraid this person's going to choke.
Slow down. Slow down. Not going anywhere. Okay.
Finishes it and just again begins looking up at the menu hungrily. Another?
No. I figured that would suffice you. Do people not eat around here? What?
Fuck you.
What?
Turns
Excuse
and
you?
Begins to walk out the door.
Huh. Well,
I'm sorry
Well,
about that. People are in testy moods these days.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, do you guys have are there not any food kitchens around here that can help people?
Well, there are. For those who can't get food, the Queen does provide best she can. But, kind of gestures with his chin towards the door. Not saying you did anything wrong, but there are some people who, they act like they can't afford food, but they just choose not to. Trying to get a easy meal out of suckers.
I'm sorry. What you
It's
did you
not-
read that last part?
I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying that that's what some people try to do. For all I know, fella really was hungry, but there are plenty of folk around here simply trying to take advantage of those who are good-natured, kind.
Oh, I see. I like that answer better. I like that one better.
Phrasing makes a difference. I apologize. No offense intended,
It
certainly.
does.
No offense intended.
It does. It's fine. I understand. But once again, your shop's lovely.
Thank you.
And yeah. And I'm gonna go. I have to meet the Queen apparently for some reason, but I just want to come around and say hi. Yeah, something. It's not important, but I always like coming into town and seeing all the shops. But you have a wonderful day. You have a blessed one. All right.
And you. Queen's blessing go with you as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. And as Korrin leaves, she takes her hand off the counter, and you see where her claws dug into the counter and left indentions when the guy called her out of her name.
As we see you step back out of the shop, back outside, you are once again in the streets of Highgale and begin making your way towards the very easy to spot Queenspire. Valkerie, was there anything you were wanting to do before the Crown's Council?
I went to a brothel, but a kind of a crappy one.
So who do we see? Are you currently waking from the previous evening? Are you still in the throes?
I'm waking up, and before this meeting, she goes to a brothel because she wants to talk and drink some people. and so she needs to pay them.
Absolutely. So as you start to wake the next day, who do we see in the bed next to you? And what state do we see them in?
So when I turn over, beside me, someone who's laying kind of like spooning beside me is a very like tan-skinned, redheaded woman. Like she has like dark red hair, but her skin is also quite tanned, and she's very like athletic
Simmer
looking
down, Cory.
as well. She's very athletic looking, and she also has like a knife on the other side of the bed. There is like a knife on the end table there. Like it's a very barren room, but she does have a long knife on the end table over there. And so I get up and I actually get up to go take a shower. So I kind of like put on a robe to go shower.
By the time you return to your room, the woman has changed sides, is laying on the other side. And as you start to enter and close the door behind you, she... Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Whew, I feel a little lightheaded still from last night.
Well, you should probably eat some more meat. I'm probably low in iron.
How did you drink from her?
I actually don't like drinking from their neck because that shows off so much that they've had someone drink from them. And I find it to be quite rude for them to go around and expect to work when they can see it right there. So, one of the more ideal places is right here because
around the
their
ribs.
arm covers it quite a bit. And then they can play off that they have a scar there because they've gotten punched in the ribs or stabbed before in that kind of region. And so that's generally where she likes to feed off of them.
And as she stands to dress herself, she has to stabilize herself on the bedside table for a second. And goes and puts a dressing gown on, lifts her arm to show the small little cut there that was made. I'll wear it with pride. Be sure to come back and see me again before you leave.
If I don't die, then I will.
And goes and grabs the knife and hands it over to you, hilt first. As you do, though, as you go to grab it, she puts just a little bit of pressure on the blade so that you have to work just a little bit to pull it from her grasp, and it cuts her finger as you draw it, and she just looks at the welling single drop of blood and takes her index finger, rubs it, and then rubs it right onto your lower lip. Something you remember me by.
They did say you were the one that had theatrics.
Gives you a little kiss on your cheek. Don't forget that next time you come around.
She just nods and watches her walk out.
And then you are alone, fed, bathed, satiated.
And then I'm going to put on all of my leather armor. And you see her put on her armor and then put in that last dagger that she had. And she puts it onto her hip. Kind of a slit there.
And as you start to exit the brothel, there are a few workers, employees here who they give you congenial looks, but you can see the fear in their eyes as they cast their gaze a little bit downward, hoping you won't pick them. As you...
I just walk out. Yeah, I just walk out and I glance at them, but I don't linger on them because I can tell that they are scared of me.
You step back outside into the streets and alleys of Highgale, the wind whipping through the road here, pushing your cloak back a little, your hair blowing in the wind. And you see that incredibly high tower. Not that heights have any impact on you after living in the grasp for a century and a half. But it is an impressive sight anyway. And I don't think you're looking forward to climbing that.
I will be using the elevator.
We see Valkerie start to head that way as well. That leaves us Lorwryn.
She has made her way throughout the city, trying to blend in and stay in the shadows as much as she possibly can. She's kept her cloak up as well as her guard, knowing what she knows of the world and of Highgale she is aware of. And she does not even try to work her way through to talk her way into getting to the Queen's Tower. This is a mission that she is on. She is very focused in her way. And so she is not letting petty guards or anybody like that get in her way. And so she will go through back alleys, through other ways and means to get close enough to it. And then a silvery and black mist starts to kind of envelop her. And she starts to sort of weave her way through the tower, trying to dodge guards, mages, anybody that would alert the authorities and things like that as she starts to make her way up this tower.
As you enter the Queen's Spire, the going at first very easy. Hold on one sec. Cat hacking something up. The going at first down here is very easy. The first several levels of the Queen's Spire are more or less open to the public. Not that you are ever in there without the watchful gazes of someone. But traversing the first several floors is quite easy. The Queen's Spire has a series of elevators. Think about it like those very tall skyscrapers that have, the elevators that go up to the main levels, but then you have to get up to a certain level, go find this other elevator to get up the next batch. So the first elevator, very easy to get on. The second elevator, though, which even after just going up the first, you're already 20 stories up. Once you're here, though, you do have to utilize that little bit more surreptitious methods. And with this silvery smoke that we see around you, we watch as a couple of guards start to look your way just as you become invisible to their sight, and they just keep walking past you. When you do reach, though, the doors and find the doors that lead to the next series of elevators, it is guarded by 2 guards on each side. How are you approaching this?
She will She can't see, and there's no windows or anything like that.
Oh, there are windows. There are definitely windows.
That she can see from when she gets off the elevator?
Yeah, 100%. There are windows on every floor all around so that you can constantly see High-Gale spreading forth around the Queen Spire.
She's not ready to make herself known just yet. And so she will actually Misty Step outside. If there's a ledge or something like that that she could Batman herself basically onto. And hide out that way. To where it's a little bit easier for her to actually see when the Queen or whoever in this council is going to be there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. So you're here on the 20th floor, and as you locate where this elevator is, you find a nearby window. Misty Step yourself outside. The wind out here is incredibly strong because you're 20 stories up. But you stand here and you look back through the window. You have a good view of that door. Are you waiting for the guards to go away? Are you waiting for other people to take the elevator? What's the plan?
Can I see before I go outside, can I see the top of the elevator?
Oh,
is it like a glass elevator kind of thing?
No,
or is
you can't see the top. No, it's a closed style elevator in here.
Gotcha. Then yes, I will wait for somebody to actually take the elevator.
Okay, love that.
And that will be my time to jump in.
Absolutely. So you have to wait a little bit because, like you said, you didn't waste any time getting here. So you're a little early. So you wait out here probably for about 20, 30 minutes, just watching the city of High-Gale in front of you. And you can see that the forest surrounding High-Gale stretches long around the large walls that you can see from this particular vantage point. But eventually, you wait, and you see a collection of 6 elves approach the elevator. They speak with the guards, very briefly, who just give a nod. One of them pushes a button, and the large doors open.
She will look... If she looks up in the sky as this is happening, does she see the 7 celestial bodies?
Absolutely.
She will just mutter under her voice, "Soon." And then she will turn back, and the banshee cloud will come around her. And when she appears again, she should be in the elevator with these elves.
And as you rematerialize, you are just standing in the corner of the elevator as the door shuts, and several of the elves look your direction, a few of them quickly going for weapons on their hips at this new individual suddenly appearing right next to them.
She will put up a hand, just as a I mean no harm. I am also here to speak with the Queen.
I'm not even going to make you make a persuasion check because there is no reason they would know who is or isn't invited. Actually, I will, but the DC is going to be very low. Could you make me a persuasion check? The DC here, because they have no idea who all is invited, is just going to be 11, just to make sure that you don't set off any huge alarm bells in their heads.
Thank goodness, because that's a 12.
Oh my god! So then, yeah, a few of them look at you. Do you speak Elvish?
Yes.
They exchange a few words in Elven, just clarifying with one another basically whether they believe you. And then those who had gone for their weapons just relax a little bit, though they give you your side of the elevator.
Yeah, I'm assuming these are more high elves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, these are not drow.
Right. Well, no. I would definitely play up the drow portion of it, but, I'm somewhat concealing the darker skin from that, but obviously if I put my hand out...
Just so you know, there isn't like a cultural bias or anything against drow. Drow exist. Drow are part of though rare, they are part of the peoples of Ivor, so that wouldn't set off any alarm bells in their heads. But
I thought the giant pendant towards Lolth might,
that part might.
That might mess them up a little bit. Yeah.
But just being a drow per se won't set off any alarms. And as one of them just catches a glance of your longer ears, a few of them do give you small, not full bows, just like a nod of the head in recognition of one of their own.
She will bow back. And as she's kind of looking to them, as the elevator's sort of going up, she will just start up sort of conversation with them for a moment, and she will look at them and recognition that they are wise, or at least presenting that they are wise. We'll look at them and you know what is coming. That is why we are all here. No?
We know that something is coming. What it is, that remains to be seen. Do you know?
I have foreseen many things. None of it is good. We must prepare this realm before it is destroyed.
Of that, we agree.
And she'll just give a little nod back.
I do not suppose I can convince you to tell us what you know now. What you have seen.
Soon. What I know, I will share soon. I will share soon. When we are all in the chambers. I promise. You have my word.
As a member of a very long-lived species for which minutes and hours and days are meaningless measurements, the elf simply nods in acceptance. And you will continue to ride this elevator in silence. Let's take a quick little break so that people can go to the bathroom and all of that, because we're going to pick up in the council. Hell of an intro to this episode, y'all. Damn!
I fought every temptation to be outside on the tower with you. Be like, hey.
You know what? I would have been totally okay with it too, but I respect the fighting of the temptation.
Yeah.
The ride up the Queen's Spire elevator, the main one that goes the final 500 meters up, you are occasionally afforded vertigo-inducing views of Highgale. From up here, once you step off of the elevator and you can really look, the towers here in Highgale, the others aside from the Queen's Spire, that would be the crowning achievement of any other city in Ivor, look almost small from up here. There is the screech of an owl so far, or the screech of an eagle, so far below you, you can barely even make it out. And as you all, or actually we're going to start with Kalista and Jaeger. You would have been the first two to make it here to outside of the council chambers. These council chambers are not quite at the top of the Queen's Spire, but they're close. They're still about 720 meters above ground level. Jaeger and Kalista, you would be the first of this group to arrive there. Is there anything you're doing?
My lady, a moment before we enter.
Of course. Do your thing.
This moment forward, there are uncertainties. But let this be one certainty I can grant you. And he's going to take his giant hand and almost rest it across one of the oaths that's on his plate. And if you were in the room, you'd probably see that it is inscribed with Saloon near the bottom. And it's going to glow slightly. And the glow is going to transfer to his hand, and then he's going to reach his hand out to Kalista. My lady.
There's a moment of almost a sneer that crosses her face before she's able to shake that off and reach out to touch Jaeger's hand.
And when she touches his hand, the light transfers to her and radiates over, and he casts Death Ward on Kalista. So you will go to 1 HP if you die instead.
Nice. All right. Kalista will straighten up her coat, pull her shoulders back, and the entire time as they were riding up, she looked straight towards the door. She did not appreciate the view around. She did not look at how short her tower looks from this point of view. But she will open the door and lead the way out towards the council.
As you enter the council chamber, like I said, you're some of the first to arrive. I would say the only member of the Queen's representatives who is here currently before you would be the High Chancellor. A impeccably dressed man with neatly groomed hair, calm, measured gaze, who is currently walking up and down the incredibly long table in here, counting the chairs. And he sees you walk in and just gives a little nod. I assume that won't be needing a seat.
He will stand by me. Thank you very much. And she will take her seat.
Of course, Weave Minder. We cut to the council chamber now being full. The table in here itself, like I said, incredibly large. It has numerous leaves that can be added to it to extend it. But the leaves that are added, the lines of the wood line up perfectly. So this table and this chamber that is over 100 meters long, and this table which can clearly span the entire length if needed, was made from a single tree from the forests of Highgale. At this moment, seated around this table, we see around 40 individuals. And that isn't even counting the guards that are standing around this room. That isn't counting Jaeger. And that isn't counting the empty, ornate chair at the head of the table. There are several delegations here represented. There are the representatives of the Queen, Kalista being one of those, representing the Weaveminders. There are representatives of the religious bodies here in Highgale. governors loyal to the queendom, representatives from Thaval Ahim, Scalded, and Vasami. And there are 2 scribes that are seated at the end of the table taking minutes. As the meeting is about to come to order, is there anything that anyone is doing in this moment? Yeah, Korrin?
Korrin would have came in and found a nice spot on the wall to sit and watch and kind of scan across the room to see who all is here, and would have clocked those that you had just mentioned off of seeing who's made out of money there and who's the richest and who's of importance, and just survey and look. She notates the big metal man. And just kind of surveys the room until she sees Shin. Shin!
Long time no see. And Shin is boiling a teapot in his hand. Like he's holding 2 teapots, and he's boiling each in his hands. Well, I did not expect to see a friendly face like yours here. What are you doing here?
Well, I was summoned to be here, and I don't know why, but I'm here.
Oh,
So,
I remember something. And he pulls out like a packet of leaves, and is like, you were always a fan of the Dragonfire tea. Very spicy, very big flavor, and I assume this city's not much for tea. So, and he like very quickly brews you a cup of dragon spice tea and hands it to you. This was always you and your husband's favorite.
oh, and Grin says hello. You know what? I didn't know you were going to be here, but me and Grin were just talking about you the other day too.
Oh, I
You need
missed
to
that
come by and
man.
visit.
I knew. I need to spar with him again. I need to spar with you. Though I will say my back still hurts from the last time. Maybe going a little easier on me during practice would be beneficial to my aging body.
Well, if I did that, and I wouldn't be Cory now, would I? Are you
Fair,
really
fair.
learning anything if I take it easy on you?
I cannot argue with the logic. And like you notice that while he's talking with you, 40 cups are now being poured with tea, and he's just pouring tea into 40 different cups.
Oh,
Is it?
You look
Yes.
over and you see a well-dressed human who has a piece of paper on a clipboard, a writing utensil, and he looks at the 2 of you. Shin and Korrin, yes, am I correct?
that would be me.
Many of us here are known to each other, but to many, you all are not. Would you all prefer to make your own introductions at the council meeting, or would you prefer I introduce you?
Is there an option where I don't get introduced at all?
Formalities do dictate.
Then you may have the honor. I will serve tea. And like starts passing out teacups into all the chairs.
You royals do love doing announcements, don't you?
We do love our traditions, yes. And you, Korrin, would you prefer to make your own introductions, or would you prefer I introduce you?
You know, I'm not known to talk about myself a lot nowadays. You can do whatever you need to, all right?
Very well.
You seem like you love doing it, so I'm gonna let you do it, all right?
I live to serve. Makes a note, looks over, and you watch as they start to approach a dark-clothed individual, and the High Chancellor walks over to you, Valkerie. Good afternoon. I am High Chancellor of her Queen. Would I be correct in guessing that you are Valkerie of the Clawbound?
Yes, that's me.
Would you prefer to introduce yourself at the meeting, or should I make your introductions?
And are you doing this like for everyone, or is this like?
Yes, everyone is introduced. Proper procedure before a meeting to make sure that we all know each other.
Are you introducing everyone, or is this like a popcorn type situation? I'm just curious.
It does typically fall to me to make introductions, but you being one of a few here who are of a special ilk, I wanted to afford you the opportunity to introduce yourself if you would prefer.
No, I'll let you do it. You seem...
Very well.
I want you to feel important and like you have a good, I don't want to take that from you. I would never take that from you.
Thank you.
I see your manners have not improved over the centuries, Valkerie.
Shin, you're still alive?
It's been a long time since we committed war crimes together. That's unfortunate.
The High Chancellor looks around the room, makes a note, and Lorwryn, you watch his eyes fall on you, go back to his notes, fall on you again with a cocked eyebrow, back to his notes, and then walks over to you. Begging your pardon, I in no way wish to be impertinent, but were you on the list?
It was not aware that a list was needed to speak, as she looks around at so many people in the chambers.
This is the Crown's Council, invitation only. There are public hearings for those who wish to have their concerns heard by the Queen, held twice a week.
She just smiles at him and goes, "If you would like to live past tomorrow, then you will let me speak. And let me listen."
Make a persuasion check for me.
A good old 9.
Kalista?
As this is happening, the Chancellor's going to feel a tap on his shoulder.
Turns.
My friend.
Oh, are we friends?
Judging
now?
by... we're not. Judging by the conditions outside and the importance of this meeting, I feel like we should allow her to stay. It would be interesting to hear what those from far under have to say in this situation. Don't you agree, Chancellor? And she's going to cast Friends on him.
I believe that's a saving throw.
Let me just double check.
I'm glad you did it, Mithril, because if it wasn't going to be you, it was going to be me.
Da, 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 da.
And I can't know
Friends is for the duration. You have advantage, so there's no save. This is on you.
No save.
So you cast this on yourself. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage.
I really shouldn't try to persuade people with this character, but you know what? We're going to go with it.
I said the same thing when I have a -1 to my persuasion.
Bruh, I got a 0.
She's not one for persuading without using a blade or a spell.
Okay, I'm not using that dice because that dice fucked me earlier today. Okay. I got 16 on both dice.
Let her be your ward, then, if she should speak out of turn or embarrass Her Majesty. I will be sure it be made known who insisted she be present.
Well, I doubt she will have an opportunity to do such. I'll keep my eye on her.
And he walks away and starts to walk towards the head of the table. Jaeger.
Never mind.
You sure?
Yeah. Never mind.
The Chancellor steps just to the right of the chair at the head of the table and bangs 3 times on the table. The soft murmuring and side conversations stop. Individuals take their seats. In the name of Queen Meleth of Windward, daughter of Queen Meleth, granddaughter of Queen Eleanor, chosen of the gods, long may she reign, this Crown's Council is convened to discuss, to advise, and to provide insight on the matter of what has become known as the Alignment. Representatives of Her Majesty, her governors, the elves of the Valahim, Scalded, and Vasami have all been summoned. Are these representatives present? Kalista, you obviously know these representatives of the Queen. There is the High Marshal, the Keeper of Tomes, the Keeper of the Treasury, the head of the Breeze Speakers, the High Chancellor, and yourself. They all nod, and one of them speaks, the High Marshal. We are. Nods, looks over to the elven representatives of the Valahim. We are. The delegation of Scalded is made of 2 humans, 2 Goliaths, and a goblin. We are. And the Vasami delegation, a 3 keen lizard folk and a human. We are. In addition to these representatives, Her Majesty, in her wisdom, has summoned to this Crown's Council several warriors and heroes of note from across Ivor. They have sworn eternal loyalty to no government, no country, no city, and will therefore act as unbiased voices of experience in this Crown's Council. Are these individuals who have been summoned now present?
Shin stands and bows like a very low bow, then sits back down.
Shin of the Sky Fist. There are a few in here who look towards you and whisper towards each other, your name clearly carrying with it recognition.
Kalista very obviously avoids any sort of looking towards Shin whatsoever. She starts wrestling with the papers in front of her.
Shin deliberately looks at her and winks.
Jaeger immediately looks back and just locks helmet with him.
He winks at him too.
And then looks back.
We also have present amongst us Valkerie of the Clawbound.
Stand up awkwardly.
Korrin. Oh, and you watch as he starts to look a little embarrassed. Korrin, I did not write down your last name.
Korrin sets her tea down. Hi everyone, my name's Korrin, Finfire, Ironheart, Ironhand. I just wanted to say I'm so nice to be here, and I don't really know what's going on, but hey, I'm just happy to be a part of the plan to help save the realm. All right, thank y'all for inviting me, and your place is quaint. I like your tower out there, and it's very nice. So.
It gets awkwardly silent for like a half beat, and then you hear Shin sort of at his point of the table.
As you laugh, Shin, a few others start to laugh as well.
It's like a genuine, like, he's looking at Korrin with all of the pride and love that, like, just like you he's like, I'm glad you're here type
As the High Chancellor nods to you and you, Korrin, retake your seat. Well, I believe we should... Who's she? One of the representatives of the Scalded, one of the Goliaths, points towards you, Lorwryn. Who are you?
She will step up and remove her head and her scowl, and she'll look up. And she goes, I am Lady Lorwryn Liana Tall.
Mm.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Mm.
Even if it is in unfortunate times.
Mm. With introductions completed, we turn to the matter at hand. All of you are aware of what has become known as the alignment. Yes? Nods of ascension. Ever since their appearance, there have been strange reports from across Ivor. If any of you have any such reports to present now, do so. The governor of Trist, a dignified, silver-haired man in tailored attire with a stern gaze and a meticulously groomed beard, he exudes authority. He... Earlier this month, our town has become unsafe. Common thievery has become even more common. I fear that if things continue the way that they have been, my citizens will have few hands remaining amongst them. Over 100 we had to take in a single day. The governor of Queensgate, a goblin, wiry, sharp-featured. Last week, one of the Queen's tax collectors was killed in Queensgate. His heart replaced with an empty coin purse. I'm sure we don't need further examples. All of you have seen it and felt it. What we have to decide now is not to rehash what has already happened, but what the Queendom, what Ivor will do. There are also, in addition here, the representatives of 7 different faiths. The same 7 priests, Kalista, who were present and blessed the creation of Jaeger, including your sister, Saren. One of the priests, the priest of Moradin, speaks up. How do we even know that these goings-on and those in the sky are related? You have something to say, then?
It is always how do I put it? I always found it odd how quickly men of faith are willing to ignore what is right in front of them, always seeming the quickest to deny what is logical.
The head of the Breeze Speakers, the spy master of Windward, a hobgoblin live in dark garments. How is it obvious that stars have any impact on us here?
He looks over. He looks over at the entire table and is like, really? The appearance of 7 stars, 7 sins, and sins rise in the cities. I felt it myself just today. A monk succumbing to lust. Had to throw myself out of a window. You don't find that the easiest. A river follows the path, and the easiest path is where water flows, and thus logic is the same. The most logical conclusion, the easiest path that water can trickle down, is that the appearance of these stars seems to coincide with the rise in crime, violence, and sin. Takes no man of education to see the correlation.
I see your hands. 1 second. The High Chancellor. We are not here to deny the obvious causation. We are here to prepare for it. All of you from here in Highgale know of the food shortage. Livestock gone missing, stocks emptied, people starving. One of the priests, the priest of Kelemvor, whose face is still obscured under a black hood of a robe. And what if this is all simply the work of the divine? They work in balance, death, life, suffering.
Do we really have to put up with your mumbo-jumbo? I thought... And Kalista's going to stand up, and she's not looking at that priest. She's looking directly at her sister. I thought those of faith were not ones to fall into coincidences and theories that have no binds in logic. Shin is correct. I felt it myself this morning, and it is not something I succumb to. Something is going on, and it has nothing to do with the divine, but a lot darker, a lot deeper.
Your sister, who you were looking at, looks right back at you. What did you feel? What happened? Tell us. Please, sister.
I felt myself... What are you going to do about it? Pray? It doesn't matter. I felt something dark come over me that I have not felt since I have ascended to this point. Something primal.
There's a silence that falls. Shin and then Korrin.
The universe is out of balance. That much we know.
Now, I may not have felt it myself, but I witnessed it today before I got here. In your own walls.
What do you mean? The High Chancellor asks.
Well, I was getting something to eat, and when I wanted to pay the kind shop owner here a little extra, as a tip for being so kind to me, his eyes did something differently. And he immediately pushed the money away at first, but I insisted because, paying someone is the right thing to do. but something washed over him for a minute. He collected himself, but he just snatched the money. And then when someone came in the shop and I was hungry, I went to go pay for his food, and before the money could even get out of my hand, he just devoured the food right then and there without a single breath. Like if he hadn't stopped, like he would have choked on it. But after he ate, he was still hungry. So
Shin looks at Korrin and then looks at Kalista. Gluttony.
Agreed.
The
Lust.
dwarf, who is the keeper of tomes, speaks up. Silver-streaked braided beard, little spectacles balanced on the end of his nose.
Hungry people and greedy people is nothing new. It is far from cause for alarm.
You are so far off, young dwarf.
Oh, then, Mistress,
And he looks down at, notes he had taken.
Lorwryn, tell me what I do not know.
This is Shin, correct?
Aye. It is nice to see someone from the underworld, the Underdark.
Oh, I am from farther away than that.
Oh, how exotic.
Winks. She will walk up and just stand over the table as she continues. I have seen what is coming for your world. My colleagues here, for better or worse, are on the right track. 7 celestial bodies is giving it too much of divine. What you are looking for is something more below. They are coming for your world. All of it.
The High Marshal, with his piercing eyes, clad in polished military regalia, looks at you down the table.
Now is not the time for riddles. Speak what you know.
7 devils from another dimension and another time, long before even the creation of this world, are coming for you.
How are
They will not stop.
How are they breaking the barrier?
That I do not know.
Should not
I
be
wish I knew.
possible.
It should not. But the devils, demons, they have ways. But they are coming. And the closer that they get, the more influence they will have among you and your people. As she looks around to each and every single one of these representatives from around Ivor.
Shin looks quickly at Kalista. Should they not be bound to their throne, to their planes? How?
I don't know. My research is only so limited in planar magic. I stepped away from it a long time ago, but it doesn't seem possible.
There's a eruption of not loud, but conversation from around the table as delegates begin speaking to each other, to other representatives, agreeing, arguing, questioning. The High Chancellor brings order back once again. We do not know anything for certain yet. The Queendom has not been idle. Kalista, would you please share with all here what the Queendom has begun to do in preparation.
Kalista will take a step back. Jaeger, make yourself seen.
He takes his trident and slams it into the ground, causing it to erupt in radiant fire.
We have been developing a way to defend ourselves and our people. This is the prototype, Jaeger. I'm not sure the timeline, but we are hoping to develop more and distribute them amongst the Queendom, as well as organize a... Sorry, I'm lost for words. Group, so to say, of talented individuals. A task force, a small group of our best fighters, in the hopes to take this on at the beginning, before it becomes a problem amongst the entirety of the Queendom. Take it on head first, in a way.
I agree with the wisdom of this plan. It must be handled head on, or it will get like a tide, like a wave beyond our control.
How are
You
you
must not let
controlling it?
them.
What was that, Valkerie?
How are you controlling what that thing is?
You mean Jaeger?
Jaeger. How are you controlling it?
He is bound to me, by my command, and blessed by 7 gods.
Just
He
wanted
has
to
his
make sure.
orders.
I wanted to make sure he couldn't turn. Because what are we going to do if he falls into the hands of the greedy, the lustful, the envious?
The raffle.
I will not be the first to say this, but magic is far stronger than humanity, than beings of the flesh. We are far more likely to succumb to these darker feelings than he is. And if he does, I will destroy him myself.
He nods his giant helmet.
But he is not only magic, is he?
No.
No.
And one of the priests speaks up. The one who spoke with Kalista earlier, the priestess of Saloon. No. He is not just magic. He is divine as well. Blessed by 7 gods.
But what is his anchor? Is there a soul inside that suit? That armor? For rarely is magic have the divine intuition of battle. Generally, these creations require a soul. Sometimes willing, sometimes taken. Is the core of him a soul?
A look of pride comes over Kalista's face. Just for a moment before she repositions her face in a stoic look. With the collaboration of the divine and the arcane, we were able to mimic, to the best of our ability, a soul. We did not take one from an individual. We did not ask for a volunteer, but we have created one.
You see absolute stun wash over Shin as he looks at Jaeger and then looks at you. You have created a new being. A being that has never existed before.
Did you doubt it was possible, Shin?
I have seen many different existences. There are none like him. I will be surprised if you will ever be able to create another. Why the absolute awe that is over Shin. That should not have been possible.
Perhaps these strange times have aided in the impossible. In the miracle that Jaeger is. And if he is not a beacon of hope that we can fight whatever this is, I don't know what else could be.
And if you'll indulge me just this moment, Shin walks up to Jaeger, gets out of his chair, walks up to Jaeger. Answer me this. Being like no other, known as Jaeger. Do you exist?
And his head, because he's about over 10 feet tall, slowly tilts down towards you and just says, Kalista's will has been done, and gives you a nod.
Incredible.
And behind the masked helmet, where his glowing eyes are, one of them shuts out for a second and gives you a slight wink.
This is an incredible feat. And he goes back to his chair and sits down.
How many more of these knights do you have?
Currently, Jaeger is the only one that is sentient-ish. The rest of them are still shells. And until we have completed our testing and our studying of Jaeger, we will not replicate this until we can guarantee that it is safe and reliable.
You will need armies of these if the devils reach your realm. They are powerful.
As this...
I do not doubt.
Korrin?
Can he fight?
Could Korrin repeat that really quick just because I talked?
Can he fight? You said you
Jaeger?
made him.
Can you fight, Jaeger?
When the need arises, I shall perform.
As this conversation is happening, I would love everyone, your choice, but let me know which you roll, insight or perception. As you're rolling, I want to let you know success ranges here. If you roll a 12 or above, you'll notice one thing. If you roll a 17 or above, you'll notice two things. If you roll a 23 or above, you will notice a lot of things.
You said perception or insight?
Yes. And just as you say what your number is, just let me know which you rolled.
You want it rolled on
Wherever.
real or
Wherever is
okay.
fine.
23.
23. Okay.
14.
21.
22.
24.
All right. So we got 2 people. Everyone succeeded. We got 2 people who notice one thing, 2 people who notice 2 things, and 2 people who notice a lot of things. So what I'm going to do is actually describe what those who notice a lot see. Those of you who notice less, just subtract some of the details and figure out which ones you notice. But Korrin and Lorwryn, this conversation is happening, all this focus around Jaeger, whether he can fight, whether he has a soul, and the priest of Moradin. As this conversation is happening, he was watching and then he turned and suddenly started just kind of staring into space, 1,000-yard stare. And he starts to look a little bit drowsy. The priest of Ilmater, dressed in tattered robes, red cord, ash on his forehead. You see as he looks at his hands, and with the back of his hand rubs at his forehead, sees the ash, and then using the remainder of his cloak, or the remainder of his sleeve, just wipes it from his forehead. You see that under the hood of the priest of Kelemvor, where no eyes can be seen, you can start to see faintly glowing orange eyes, and his slightly hunched demeanor at the table goes straighter. The priest of Bahamut, a silver dragonborn, gives the priest of Bahamut grabs a coin from out of his pocket and just starts to dance it slowly along his fingers as he stares at it. The priestess of Saloon, you watch, or you notice as she just looks down at herself, seated at the table. One of the representatives of the Queen, the Keeper of Tomes, speaks up again.
One thing is certain, I feel now. These ill omens, they are not the footsteps of the divine. Oh, but they are.
You hear course across the chamber.
Lorwryn
And
has heard this before, hasn't she?
I don't know if you've heard that particular voice. Make me a history check. Let's see if you have.
Would our perception and insight checks have taken effect at this moment or in a second?
Oh no, you've noticed this. You notice those behavior changes start to happen slightly before you heard that.
Can Jaeger pop a divine sense
Absolutely.
at the same time?
Lorwryn, what did you roll on that history check?
Got a 20.
20?
17 plus 3.
Here's what I'll say. The specific voice, not sure.
Right.
But...
I'm thinking the tone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The voice is different, but you recognize that prideful voice. You have heard that tone before. And I saw Kalista's hand, and then I saw Korrin's.
So Kalista only noticed one thing, and that was her sister. She's going to start prepping the spell.
What spell?
Would you say that in a round of movement, she could be within 10 feet of her sister?
Yes.
Then she's going to prep Globe of Invulnerability.
Okay. Got it. You just under the table begin to pull from the weave. Korrin?
Well, that's nice and all, but remember what I said before, that it was already in your own inside your own walls. Just a friendly reminder. And as Korrin is saying that, she's reaching towards her, like already got her hand on her axe and just kind of putting it down. Just friendly reminder.
The priest of Ilmater, as you set your axe down and it thuds, there is very quickly a thud that comes from his seat. It is the sound of his hammer falling onto the ground, but it wasn't him lowering it. You watch as, with lidded eyes, he looks at it where it fell and just looks back up. The priest of Ilmater stands without saying a word, and he looks around. That is when you pop Divine Sense, Jaeger. You get several fiendish, infernal pings here. In fact, you get 8. 7 from the priests. And it's as you pop this that you notice something that no one else does, that you did not notice before you began looking for signs of your quarry. Floating above the head of each of the 7 priests, spectral, infernal crowns. The priest of Ilmater stands, like I said, and he walks over to a large mirror that is here on one of the walls and inspects himself. Repulsive, but a noted improvement. And he removes the cloth from his hands, grabs the red rope belt that keeps his robe on and unties it. And there in front of you all, you watch as he removes his tattered robes of Ilmater and stands bare in front of the mirror. And just looks at himself. He turns to face the table after this is done. 7 months were granted to you to prepare for our coming. 7 days remain to you now. I believe, Kalista, you said that you were watching your sister. Yes? You watch as she looks down at her own body, dressed in the shimmering robes of Saloon. And as she looks at herself, you watch her fingers trace the curves of her own breasts and run down her body until they are underneath the table. This body, this skin, these nerve endings, these desires that I see locked behind a moon-shaped door. All wasted, but no longer. I claim what was the Moon Maiden's as mine now. All 7 priests are behaving strangely at this moment. As the one standing bare, the priest of Kellenvor, has spoken to you all, the priestess of Saloon, spoken more to herself. Do any of you do anything in this exact moment? Kalista.
So, Kalista lets her prepared spell drop after hearing her sister talk that way. And she is going to stand on shaky legs, and she's just going to start incanting spell after spell. She's going to start with a hold person on her sister, and then she's going to follow it with a dispel magic, and she's going to try to hit this with everything she has in her arsenal to try to free her sister from whatever's clutching onto her.
You begin to pull from the weave and try to stop your sister or her body, remove whatever force is inside her. You care for this one, don't you? Oh, wait. Let me look. Sisters. How delicious. And she stands.
I will destroy you. I will destroy you.
Would you? Would you destroy your sister in the process? I'm right here. Come get me. That's what I thought. She walks down the long table, and she stops in behind the keeper of the treasury, an orc with a well-cropped circle beard. She runs her hand on the back of his shoulders, and you watch as he had been watching all of this, and his eyes change. He stands from his seat where she is behind him, moves his chair aside. While he does, Saren, your sister, unbuttons the gown that she is wearing, looking right at you, opens, revealing her moon-pale flesh. The orc kneels in front of her as she puts her hand on the back of his head and presses his face between her legs while she stands. Oh, am I being naughty?
I assume the archdemon of lust. Then what does that make you? Archdemon of pride? He's addressing the other naked one.
He looks down at himself. Some have called me such. 7 days. The priestess of Saloon, now inhabited. Serve. The choice presented to you all now. is not whether to serve, but whom. The priest of Kalimvor, whose eyes, like I said, a few of you had noticed were glowing orange, starts to look around, looking up and down the table. His eyes fix on someone, and he stands. And he walks towards the end of the table where the Queen's advisors sit, where the priestess of Saloon stands, the orc kneeling before her. Walks around towards that direction, and as he starts to get there, he takes the holy symbol off from around his neck, the holy symbol of Kalimvor, a set of scales held by a skeletal hand. And this is a large, heavy, holy symbol. And he removes it and keeps walking, and stops right behind the seat of the High Marshal. Kalista, is this something you would be doing in that moment, or is this after?
This is during, because Kalista has been prepping another spell. And she's still looking at her sister, but watching as this individual walks by. And she's holding this spell. If that priest of Kalimvor is going to do anything aggressive to one of her people, she's going to release a spell against him. If not, she's going to release it against her sister.
And just so I understand, you are prepping Globe of Invulnerability?
No, I am prepping Disintegrate.
Disintegrate? Wonderful. I love that. Yeah, Jaeger.
Would Jaeger be able to tell if those invisible crowns above each priest and priestess were a tangible thing that could be destroyed, or more of a devilish indication?
I will say,
of the moment.
Right now, they do not look material.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna pop a mutagen while this is happening, because
Absolutely.
this is crazy. This is crazy stuff. So you would just see me kind of discreetly, not really discreetly, but I'm not making noise. I'm just
Right.
like, oh no.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pop one while that's happening.
Shin, then Korrin.
How far is he away from me?
80 feet?
And would an insight check tell me if what he's about to do is aggressive?
Make me an insight check.
22.
Absolutely. There is, even though you can't see the face underneath, all you can see is those burning eyes.
So my movement speed is 60. With Step of the Wind, that's 120 feet. As soon as he makes an aggressive move to whoever he's going to make it to, I'm actually going to be just as faster than wind right next to him, grabbing his arm.
Okay. I need a contested check here. Because yes, you have speed, but this individual is already right there now. So you would have to make it there. This person wouldn't have to move, in other words. So let's just straight dexterity check.
Is that dexterity saving throw or dexterity?
Nope, just check. Just check.
Okay. That's a 15.
Got a 16 on the die.
Oh.
So, you begin to run that way, but not before. You don't get there before the priest removes this heavy holy symbol and bashes the High Marshal across the skull directly onto the ground, or directly onto the table, and then with these pewter scales beats the head of the High Marshal until you can hear the reverberation of the table as chips of skull and meat get replaced with splinters of wood as the head has entirely been gotten through. Your end comes in 7 days.
So since I already made the distance, like I'm now next to him, but he's already beaten his head in, I changed the motion into stunning strike.
Okay. No, not even going to make a contested save, not even going to try to avoid it. Mm-hmm. So you run up and just hit in a, targeted area that makes this individual unable to move. And as doubled over from it, looks up at you. And again, with the hood, all you see is those burning eyes, and it illuminates a large smile. Korrin, yes.
Korrin would have started. You would have noticed when all this stuff was going on, Korrin kind of steps back, and you see her start to grow, get bigger, because she's raging. And once she sees this guy get his head smashed in, she is going to throw her axe at that individual.
Impacts right into the chest.
As the axe is thrown, Kalista is going to release her disintegrate spell also towards that individual as he has enacted violence upon somebody. But as she does this, she's going to look over her shoulder. Jaeger, get the rest of them out of here. This is no place for innocents.
The alignment. The naked priest of Kelemvor speaks while the axe is still being thrown, and as you cast Disintegrate, with the axe impacting and this figure underneath the robe being reduced to bone, falling dead to the ground. The alignment was not for our benefit, but for yours. Like a parent might knock on their child's door before entering as a courtesy. We are coming. We are already here. We have provided you with the signs and portents for you to prepare for our coming. To clear the playground, so to speak, or at least to pick a team. Your best hope, and he steps to the head of the table, pulls the ornate, empty throne back, and sits down in it. Your best hope, truly your only hope of survival, is servitude. Perhaps you'll find shelter beneath the boot of your chosen master.
As he's giving this monologue, Emperor Palpatine style, Lorwryn's just gonna light his ass up with lightning and walk on the table slowly towards him and keep the lightning going. And when she reaches over to him, she'll reach down and just look and say, "My beloved sends her regards. See you soon."
You pump this body full of electricity. Shin?
Shin's gonna step in front of the lightning. And he's gonna
Lorwryn steps on the hit. As Lorwryn steps onto the table and begins to send this lightning forth, Shin, you jump and begin to take the impact.
And I actually have I have resistance to lightning, so it actually does half the damage. But and Shin, what are you all doing? They are possessed. You've already murdered one.
They are lost, not possessed.
I like this one. You should be on my side. Serve well enough, I might even have a place for you in my ranks.
I've served nothing but as a Gorath. Demon, I did not do this for you, but for the vessel on which you have taken.
When Shin gets in front of the lightning, she'll obviously like click it off because that's not who she's trying to get to. But she still will follow forward and say what she's been saying and things. But she'll put a hand on Shin's shoulder as she leans down. Because Shin's fairly tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so for her to bend down and things like that, it'll be like right at the right kind of thing. And she'll just kind of look at Shin almost comforting in a way. As comforting as one can be in this very strange atmosphere. And she'll go, devil, not demon. Devils are worse.
Stands and walks over to near the table where you are and just reaches Shin and gives you any part he can reach, just like a pat, like a teammate would. There is not one of you too pure to fall. And he turns and addresses the whole table. Look at me. Look at Zariel. And points to the now skeletal figure disintegrated. We fell and rose so far. Allow me to be very clear. One of you clearly has experience with devils. This is your one chance. Your one. Kneel. Serve. And find sanctuary.
I would rather die than bend knee to the likes of you.
You know, while, I'm trying to figure out a best way to say this. Oh, I know, get fucked. I'm not doing that. If you want to rumble, rumble. That's all I got to say. Do your little magic tricks, and because, God forbid, fucking magic users. You don't even have your real bodies. You're just hijacking regular people. Just spread your little word or use his microphones. Get fucked.
You must not be so powerful if you can possess a human. So you can be contained in something that's so weak.
He smiles.
I like you. You're good.
He smiles at you. Would you be a more willing container then?
I would never be willing with you.
I've never cared much about that myself. There is a wind that begins to rise here in the chamber. It takes you a second to realize the source, because it's not coming from the windows. They're shut. It's coming from the robe, dead on the floor. Oh dear, dear me. I did tell you all that the alignment was for your benefit. Oh.
Like a parent might knock on the door of their child's room, I said. Well, Zariel has a bit of a temper. And she wishes me to convey a message, since she is not here to convey it herself at this instant. And he leans forward. Knock, knock.
There is an enormous erupting sound from outside the windows. Glass breaks inward, and even from here, thousands of feet in the air, you can hear the sound of screaming. People run to the windows and they see smoke rising, rubble, hear the sounds of people screaming. And the 6 still here, exchange glances with each other. And the priest of Kelemvor gives a over-the-top bow. See you soon, if you make it that far. And the priests fall to the ground, all grabbing their heads, coming to. And your sister, Kalista, comes to, with the keeper of the treasury kneeled in front of her, still breathing heavily. And she looks to you, Kalista. I was in there. She.
I can't get rid of her. Please.
Oh.
Let me fix this.
I trust you.
I'm going to cast Modify Memory. And I'm going to try to cut that out.
She doesn't resist. She stops
I'm going to
shaking.
back it up.
What happened?
As if...
And she comes to, her dress, her gown still open, and she clutches it shut.
It's okay. Kalista will actually remove her own robe and place it over her sister's shoulders. It's okay.
Another huge sound of a building collapsing, screams. The people in here start running from the room.
We were attacked. We have to get you to safety, okay?
She just confused, scared, nods, trusts you. And as you all begin to prepare or run from this chamber or whatever it is that you do, we'll see what happens next time. What a great piano note right there, right at that time. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I have a keyboard right here. Yeah! Holy fuck! Great session, y'all.
I mean, it was all right. It was okay.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Pretty good.
Fucking hell.
Oh, Shin was about to yell at both y'all.
Oh dear.
Shin was about to get. Yeah, Shin was about to get into it with Kalista and Korrin.
I'm going to.
Bruh, I almost killed my sister. I almost sent a disintegrate ray at her.
I'm gonna let y'all know.